This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 908 for the week of Monday, March 2nd, 2026. And yes, it is Sanji's birthday, for those wondering. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
I'm happy I looked that up accidentally. We have on today's episode our anime recap host. The anime, by the way, returning in April, so that's a month away this April. We have Sam Leach with us. How's it going, Sam?
Next April. Because we're not in April now, so it's wrong to call it next April.
Speaking of, we have our archivist, Ken O'Connor, with us. How's it going, Ken?
Y'all are stealing my joke right at the start. Happy March, everyone. For now, we are officially in March.
Yes, this is your month, all of a sudden.
This is my month. This is my month to shine.
2 years ago. Or 4
Has
years
it been?
ago.
Oh, my God.
It's probably
yeah.
more.
Probably.
Today's guest, a writer for... I'm going to miss some of your bylines, I'm sure. But we have Lucas DeRuyter, who has written on... you know what? I'll let you, Lucas, say everything so I don't miss anything.
Hello,
off the top of your head?
Hello, everyone. I'm Lucas DeRuyter. I've written for too many places to remember, but lately Anime News Network, IGN a little while back, Anime Feminist forever ago, and anyone else who wants some good anime gaming culture writing. If you're out there, I'm very affordable and my DMs are open.
There it is. Lucas, when we have new guests on, we ask them, how did you get into One Piece? What's your origin story?
I am a 30-year-old man. So One Piece was on Toonami when I was 10 years old, and somehow over the course of 20 years, it's become a big part of my life that I have a lot of opinions about.
I don't like to think about the fact that Zach and I were in freshman year of college 20 years ago when One Piece was on Toonami.
Yeah, why would you even mention that? You're hurting me.
Because that was 2006. I remember it was the summer of 2006, after our freshman year, is when I watched the anime at the time.
Mm.
Yeah. There's a lot of people listening.
And he was just starting in the anime at the time.
And there's a lot of people listening who were not born when we started watching One Piece. And I hate to tell you that, but it is unfortunately true.
No,
Lucas.
I'm not that old yet. I'm getting older every year.
How does that keep happening? Didn't you? I thought you would do something about that. Luckily, that doesn't happen to me. Lucas, so what was it that, like, hooked its... Have you just always, been consistently on the boat since it's been on Toonami when you were 10?
Yeah, so the thing that
when did you switch from the anime to the manga?
That was going to be probably close to ages 16 or 17. I got fed up with waiting for the anime to come out, realized, a lot of the manga is online through dubious sources when I would have been 17, but still online, available for me to read, so I got caught up instead of waiting for the anime. But yeah, no, I am kind of fortuitous in that I got into One Piece. I was at like a transitional age where I didn't really mind the 4Kids dub. That's just what cartoons sounded like for me. And then as I think I was about 13, 14, 15, when they switched to the more accurate, more mature, whatever you want to call it, Funimation dub. And then I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm just the right age for that transition to actually be like a big win for me and carry on. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess that's my way of saying that One Piece has matured along with me.
What other anime were you into at the time?
I was a Pokemon kid. I was big into Pokemon.
Nice.
Actually, speaking of Anime News Network, they're paying me to review the new Fire Red port for the Nintendo Switch. So that'll be a fun project for me. But yeah, God, what was big in high school? Does anyone remember Mare? I don't know why, but I'm remembering that was an anime I also watched in high school.
Tom
MAR?
goes to the Mare.
yes.
Yeah, MAR.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
Is that how that's pronounced? I do vaguely.
I never saw it.
There's an umlaut on the A, right, or something?
Right.
Yeah.
Or it's like an abbreviation of something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that one. Like, that definitely was in the background.
That's one of those like that does not even really come up in like nostalgic conversations much.
No, when I was on Quest for the Vest a little while ago, I mentioned that several times already. But we were talking about like series that are like that, and like, you know, Scryed is kind of, I feel like, the one that pops into my head of a series I've watched and that I really forgot that I watched. Like, the memory of it has been sucked out of my brain. And I feel like that probably fits, you know, kind of there. So now that you're at the end of your origin here, we have to ask you some questions. There's only one right answer to these. You may have heard them before, since you mentioned you listened to the Kat interview from a few weeks ago, but pretend that you've never heard them before. First, who is your favorite Straw Hat?
God, Usopp is a lot of fun. I feel like Usopp hasn't had great screen time lately, but like on other podcasts forever ago now, I've said Usopp is my favorite character, just like hang out with, exist around. He's just a guy. We all know like someone who is like 40% Usopp, and Usopp is just that kind of guy, dialed up 60% more.
Yeah, you don't have to stick with the same answer. In fact, I believe my answers for all of these questions probably change relatively frequently. But it's if you want to stick, you can. Second question, who is your favorite antagonist in One Piece?
Oh, I know this is an easy one and a topical one with the second season of the live action series coming out soon. But Crocodile. The Crocodile mostly because like his plans would just work in real life. Like that is actually really well informed like socio-political writing in that character. Like he is effectively disrupting a government in a way that would work in real life.
Wow. Yeah, when you compare Doflamingo and Crocodile, if you put them in real life and gave them those same tools somehow. Yeah, I feel like
Doflamingo's plan was too complicated. Crocodile kept it more simple. It was more effective.
Doflamingo's plan was too complicated in the One Piece world. A world which lives in complication. Third question. Who is your favorite character that does not fit into one of those two buckets?
Ooh, a more neutral character that I'm
secondary character, hero or villain?
Tertiary, primary, but not really primary. Primary in your eyes.
I really like that. Okay, so this is going to be a terrible reason for this person to be my favorite secondary character. I think he counts as that category. Killingham right now is kind of my pet favorite character. I have a soft spot for this archetype of character that is like they are really stoked to be a centaur. This comes from playing the video game Bravely Second, the sequel to my favorite game of all time, Bravely Default. Not Bravely Default 2, that game is terrible, but Bravely Second. There's an iteration of the character from Irish myth, Cú Chulainn, who is inexplicably a centaur, and he is stoked about it. And then when I was in Mexico City with my partner a couple years back for Day of the Dead, in one of the grand squares down there, there was a version of Pancho Villa that was both a skeleton and a centaur and giant. Cool. And it's just like, you know what? I like and respect anyone who's like, yeah, I want to be a centaur. I want my body to be even better for war. And that's Killingham for some reason. He doesn't have to be a centaur, but he is just choosing to go around like that half the time.
The year of the horse.
It is the year of the horse.
So I am told.
The year of the centaur is as we hear in the but you must have loved Punk Hazard then, because there were so many centaurs, and Luffy became kind of a centaur by putting someone's butt on their butt, right? Isn't that Kinemon's butt legs? Yeah. Oh, it was Kinemon's legs and butt. Yeah. It talked by farting, so that's why my brain. Anyway, more mature topics. That was me. Who? I'll ask this one. If you think Killingham's your answer for it too, who is your favorite obscure character? A character you like that you don't really even think anyone remembers, except for us, because you know.
I really liked early One Piece that was just filled with weird little guys, and like very like even more like cartoon logic explanation for things. I Pearl learning a fighting style of lighting himself on fire with the explanation being because he grew up in the jungle. That is terrific.
The jungle.
Yeah. And also him having I forget the name of it, but a blood phobia because he's so focused on defense. That is really great small character writing. But I think the little dude who was like in a treasure chest. Yes, yeah, that is terrific, amazing.
Both great answers. You have the support of most of our podcast.
Gaimon, who eventually got a little treasure chest wife.
Yeah.
Gaimon and Surf Uncle. Yeah, it's good for them. I hope they have a band together.
Ooh.
Next one. What is your favorite story arc in One Piece?
So I think that the last time One Piece was maybe firing on all cylinders for me was oh my god, why is the name escaping
Describe
me?
It.
It's a story arc where Brook is introduced.
Thriller Bark.
Thriller Bark, yes. Thriller Bark was, I think, the last time One Piece was really firing on all cylinders for me. Where it was just this giant exercise in creativity will also make, like, casually feeding into some long-term world building, and also a lot of great character
being pacing
moments.
issues in Thriller Bark, especially at the end of the fight with Moria.
That's the anime, I think.
Yeah.
So, like, when I reread Thriller Bark, I agree with you 100% that the anime has a lot of those. I mean, that's not really so unusual with the One Piece anime, but the manga is. I think you were describing that arc well in the manga.
And we do have a couple of anime-centric questions. Do you have a favorite opening or ending theme?
The first opening of One Piece is the best one. Like, that is just, it.
It's a classic.
They kind of nailed it out of the gate, and I appreciate everyone that's an iteration on it. The one they did for Egghead, that was like a marvel of animation. Yes, yeah. I didn't love the song on that one. That wasn't top tier for me, but like the animation and it being kind of a celebration of the entire series, or at least the second half of the series, I really appreciated.
Or as some people romanized it, Asu.
Yes, I forgot.
Yeah.
True. Okay, I think that's. Did you have something else, Ed, or was that?
No, I just wanted to make sure we got the anime question in.
Yeah, no.
Music question.
Gotta get the music in. Before we get started, we have One Piece news to go through, and it's all live action related, as previously. Fantastic. So first, the One Piece live action season 2 premieres on the 15th. Correct me if I'm wrong. Of March.
I thought it was the 10th.
The 10th. Well, so the first 2 episodes are premiering in select theaters in the United States, Canada, and Japan on March the 10th. I think if you search right now, like on Fandango or your whatever you use to book tickets for movies.
You sound so old.
Whatever the kids use.
What are the kids use nowadays? Using the Fandango?
I just don't go to theaters often enough.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's more me. Than my age. Anyway, it's going to be playing in 200 theaters that day only at 6 p.m. wherever you might live. So the local time. Now I sound old. It'll also be, for those who are in Japan, it will also be premiering there on the same day, which is technically a day earlier. Nationwide, they'll have
But it'll be on Netflix on the 15th, it sounds like?
Yeah. They'll have messages from Iñaki and Oda, so I assume we're going to get that giant transponder snail talking again.
Cool.
And a limited, and this is at least in Japan. I don't know if that's going to be the case here, but we'll see. Plus a limited in Japan, 30,000 nationwide theater exclusive admission gift, because they love those over there. So if anyone is there, please pick me up at least one of those. I appreciate it. I don't know what it is, but I want it. I need it. I don't collect the card game. Give me something here. I'm not.
I was watching college basketball game, a week and a half ago or so, and I saw, I think, a One Piece trading card game ad. They're doing a college basketball partnership.
It is everywhere. It is everywhere. Yeah. Speaking
That's insane. That's insane.
This isn't even a good segue because I'm going back to live action. The cast is going to be on, what is this show? The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Okay. March, I don't know about that. March the 5th. That's this Thursday as of us recording it. And from the picture, it looks like it's going to be Taz, Emily, Iñaki, Makenyu, and Jacob. So that's Sanji, Nami, Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, respectively. So look forward to that. I don't know what's going to be involved in it, but I have opinions on Fallon and they're not good, but I'm glad that they're there. So
it's so nice seeing the live action get more attention. Mm-hmm. Like the more attention it gets, honestly, the happier I am, but I understand the reservations.
No, that's my reservations about Jimmy Fallon. It has nothing to do with the cast. They also came out, IGN, I know, came out with an exclusive clip of season 2, which was a lot of fun. It is actually my favorite part of One Piece, which is the crew hanging out and just talking and bantering. So more of that. I am excited to see some of that. A staple of early One Piece, as we were talking about its specific glory days, and we haven't had time for that recently because, giants and dragons, oh my. Any other thoughts as we lead up? When is the live action is going to be coming out in 2
March
weeks?
10th. Yeah.
It is March 10th? I was wrong?
Yep. It's Mario Day, March 10th.
Okay. Well, I don't know why I said 15th. I don't know what I was thinking.
I double checked when you said it too. Like, that didn't sound right. I feel like it's earlier than that.
Okay.
So,
well,
March 10th.
March 10th.
Are you planning on watching them all at once, or are you going to slow roll them?
I think I did like 1 or 2 at a time last time. And
okay.
I didn't watch them the day they came out. I had to watch them pretty quick though because I had to talk about them.
You have so much more self-control than I do. I watch them all in a day.
I don't have that kind of time.
That's true. I have a luxury. I get it.
I mean, unless I don't
Steve and
sleep.
I binged the whole season when it went out last time. I think it's too short notice to ask for that day off of work this time, but
yeah, I don't know. We should probably do something. I am hoping to put together a new season of our OPLA interviews, but those probably will not be ready until after
OPLA.
Thank you. There it is. Ed. Until the season comes out on Netflix. But yep, I think everyone knows about it. There's a live action One Piece, and it has a second season. And moms,
I think if Alex was here, he'd back me up on that. OPLA.
Yes,
absolutely.
Alex, yes, that's what they say in Greece. They say OPLA.
Spanakopita.
Is that when they break the plates?
Sure.
Okay, never mind.
No, I mean OPA is like Cheers.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's the joke. Anyway, let's talk about the One Piece manga right after this commercial break. Or if you're on Patreon, nothing.
Now.
This is the manga recap for chapter 1175, Niddhoggr. Who's hogging the Nids? We'll find out this week. You could read this chapter and all chapters as soon as they come out at shonenjump.viz.com or mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. Before we get into the chapter, though, Ed, what is Oda talking about this week?
Our boy ate a salad. It's big news in itself.
That is big news, yeah.
He says, the wooden fork that comes with the salad at McDonald's, I used it for the first time, and I was impressed with how well it works. So, Oda ate a salad, which is good news.
From
McDonald's,
perfect.
But still.
First time I used the fork at McDonald's.
Apparently they have wooden forks.
At least in Japan.
But does that imply this is the first salad he had there, or when he gets a salad from McDonald's, he eats with his hand, like he doesn't use the fork?
Or it's the old school salad shaker, and he just drinks it out of the cup.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I wonder if Japanese people struggle with forks like we struggle with chopsticks.
That was a gag. That was a gag on the most recent episode of Golden Kamuy that I reviewed.
Was it really?
Yeah. No, they teach the main character how to eat proper dinner, how to eat properly, and then the curveball is that it is a Western style dinner, and he does not know that etiquette.
Funny.
Yeah,
I love that.
Cool.
Okay, so what's going on in the cover story, Ed?
It's a reader request for Sabo with koala babies hanging all over him by Ramen Maru. There's at least 5. It looks like 5 koalas, including Sabo's girlfriend.
Well, I was going to say, I think the writer forgot to put a possessive on koala. It was supposed to be Sabo with koala's babies hanging all over him.
It's their babies, yeah.
It's their babies, yeah. Like, I saw this, I'm like, this is definitely...
One of these babies is kind of like a salaryman with his short sleeve white collar shirt.
You're asking how babies hang all over you? That's pretty easy. They do that. They do that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the father at the table then, and his babies are on Sabo.
Oh my god, yes. You're probably
eating
right.
some sort of, looks like a sandwich he's eating?
Eucalyptus sandwich, I think we could all say.
Oh yeah, like the leaves.
Yeah, because I'm assuming those are the leaves that a koala eats. These are adorable koalas, and as we learned from John Oliver's program, probably they all have chlamydia. That's the fact about koalas I know. Hey, watch.
I've heard that too, yeah.
Yeah, he has John Oliver has, not to spoil it, but there is a John Oliver's Koala Chlamydia Award in Australia that exists. So he had that named after him. Good for him, right?
If everybody has chlamydia, nobody does.
That's the koala way. That is the koala way. I apologize to Koala, the character. This is very cute.
No one look up how koalas develop the gut biome to subsist on eucalyptus. That will ruin koalas more than the chlamydia thing. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
too good. We have ruined koalas for everyone this evening.
Why do I know so little about koalas compared to you people?
That's what I've been asking you, Ken.
Of all the subjects that I have no knowledge on, it's koalas, apparently.
You know Yamato?
No. I know Yamato. That's about it.
That's it. That's why you don't know.
You replaced all the koala knowledge in your brain with Yamato.
That's
what it is. Yamato and Huskies.
Yes.
Ken knows Huskies.
Huskies. That's right. What if there were a husky koala? Then maybe. Or what if you dressed
Is that just a really fat koala? A husky koala.
A very, that's okay. A nice way to put it, I guess.
Yes. Don't fat shame the koala. Just call him husky.
I'm not fat shame. I'm saying I think you should dress you should dress your dog up like a koala and then keep it away from other dogs because of the reasons we've mentioned. Okay. Let's start the chapter, Ken.
All right.
Throwing it right on you after that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. We start off the chapter with a big fiery kick from Sanji, slashing down on the thorns surrounding Robin. And Nami says, "I'm so happy, Robin." And Robin is thanking Sanji. And so Usopp's like, "Yeah, that's our Sanji." Like
after she saved him in Onigashima, right? Against Black Maria?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
She did. You're right. Okay, that's a good way to think of it.
Yeah. And then someone says, "I guess it was vulnerable to heat." That's a relief. And I'm just pausing right here. That this bothered me so much. At no point did any of them think, the vines, the plants, they must not be weak to fire. Like, this is Pokemon 101. You use fire on the vines.
To be fair, Elbaf is also weak to fire.
True.
So I'll give them that.
Robin says, "There's no time to celebrate," and Sanji agrees. Between the hockey and the roaring, and then it pans over to something emerging from the mist out in the trees. What's that shadow?
It's like the shark's fin.
Yes. Tana, Loki. Loki. All right. then we're taken to the Western Village, and all of the children and the parents are being dropped off, and various giants going, Ripley, Oimo, Roto? And the kids are, please help our parents. They got stabbed by our thorns. Mommy's gonna die. And one of the giants screams at Loki, Loki, this village is in danger. Take the children somewhere safer. And Loki, still in dragon form, replies, not my problem. The only thing I'll do to people who climb on my back is dump them off.
I don't know. I feel like Loki should have a more fitting voice in this.
Let me do that then.
No. I mean, when I say more fitting, I mean, not my problem. Oh, no, not my problem. The only thing I'll do is, something like really
a little more
fitting.
sassier.
Yeah,
Not
sassier.
my problem. The only thing I'll do to people who climb on my back is dump them off like that.
It needs more falsetto.
Okay. I don't know why you want him falsetto.
No,
but okay.
I'm fine with us going full Pika for Loki until the anime proves us otherwise.
That's where my joke was apparently
Now
based on in this. Yeah, so now get off me. No, he should probably be, he does have a New Yorker vibe to him. I should be. Now get off of me. And New Yorkers can't do New York accents. That's the secret here. What a cool spread, though. This is this chapter, I'll say, every time I turned and saw this really cool 2-page spread, I'm like, okay, to be continued at the bottom, right? And there was like 4 of them. So that was a fun surprise.
What's this other dragon here?
That's Niddhoggr. That's the dream, the nightmare Niddhoggr.
Oh, okay.
You're looking at page 4, or?
Yeah, he's looking, right? I assume
The Sleeptid, you mean?
Yeah, the Sleeptid Niddhoggr. The dream Niddhoggr. Yeah,
gotcha.
the dreamt up. Anyway, what a cool spread, though. So he has, do we know the name of the winged one? I don't even know. The winged Sleeptid is hanging out of Loki's Niddhoggr mouth. And he has one claw in the foreground on one of the branches on one of the branches of the Atom Tree, right? I think it's been confirmed, right?
Yes.
We
I don't
also know. the other claw next to the Western Village there, as Luffy in his giant form, the same size as the squirrel, on top of Loki in his dragon form, saying, "Hey, Zoro! Hey, I'm up here. Do you see me? I'm sitting on top of a giant dragon."
Hey, you guys.
Zoro. I do love how all the Sleeptids are freaking the F out down here. That's really great. Meanwhile, on the loudspeaker, Jarl says, "Attention, Elbaf, all the children are safe." And Nami, Robin, and Jinbei are all very happy about this. And there are no longer any hostages. And I do love this, just like rawing crowd just saying, "Good." All right. Yeah. Good. I guess that's okay. What an excellent panel here of the giant Luffy in the bottom right, waving in the way that my 1-year-old waves hello at me or goodbye, at Zoro, saying, this is Zoro saying, "What took you so long? And is that dragon?" And Luffy finishes his sandwiches and says, "Yes, that's Loki. If you're here, at least I could be sure that this place is safe." And Zoro's like, "Yeah, okay, sure, let's say that. Anyway, since you're all giant, you guys should crush those dream monsters before they destroy all of Elbaf." And Luffy's like, "Yep, got it." Meanwhile, an explosion, or actually shots, Doom being fired into the crowd there in the Western Village. Oimo, who has seen better days, and Anji, both also seeing better days, saying, "Oh, what's landing on us? They're thorns. Oh no, I know what that means." Meanwhile, here he comes, the guy everyone hates. Summers, on his thorn, we'll see. his thorn creature, saying, "You fools are wasting your time. You're not supposed to be alive, you miserable cretins. Give me back my emotions. I need my emotions." I know what he's saying, but it's still funny to think of it like that. And yeah, we see Ridley, Roto, and Oimo looking up at this prick. Sam.
We turn the page, and we got this is Summer saying, "On the other hand, this works for me. If the brats are still alive, I haven't failed yet. I can still take them to the Holy Land as planned, however." And then he's summoning a little hydra of thorn lizards with cannons for tongues. I assume the cannons are also made of thorn?
Do they fire thorns?
I don't know.
They do. That's what they've been firing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids are down below. They're still tied up, and they're shouting, "We're not going to let you do that." Or first Summers is saying, "I'll finish off those half-dead parents now, using my thorn launchers, of course." And then the kids are protesting.
Of course.
"We're not going to let you do that. Now it's my turn to protect Mommy. Yeah, me too. And then like Summers has this he is aghast. He is shocked by the nobility and the cuteness. And he's like putting his hands on his head, says he's crying, his tongue is out. He's like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Kids are the best. Now I don't even care about the mission. Who should I kill first? I'll never forget the bravery written on your stupid little faces. Farewell." And then like machine gun thorns.
No hesitation.
Ripley's playing, "Colin, please run." And Colin says, "No, Mommy, I'll keep you safe." And then there's a wham as the thorns keep landing around him and are about to hit him in the face.
Lucas, what happens next?
We get Zolo coming to the rescue, knocking away all of the thorns. I can't quite tell from the panel if he is cutting them or if they. No, they've been described as indestructible.
Off.
Yes, yeah, but that is
deflecting them.
Yeah, he's charging directly into them, and they're going off.
Okay.
You get to flex something that's indestructible.
Right. I just want to, not to be a power scaler,
and
but
also,
like that is a new tier if Zoro can't cut them. Yeah.
See, the problem is Zoro's using a steel type move, and he should be using a fire type move. Zoro is the worst Pokemon trainer, proved once again.
All right, so we get Zoro charging in, knocking those out of the way. Luffy responding, "Way to go, Zolo. I always believed in you. Nah. I knew that. Now go." I presume that is Zoro. Telling Luffy to like, "Come on, man! Like, take out Summers." And then he proceeds to. Summers yells, "Huh? Who did that?" Luffy, "That's Zoro. Remember the name. He's with me." As he is looming up in the air, charging electricity from the storm that
he's creating, I think.
Yeah, or the squirrel.
Loki's making the lightning.
Loki's making the lightning. It's the squirrel that does the storm.
The ice.
That's right.
Actually, this reminds me of Skypiea, where Luffy had a giant ball of gold on his arm and threw it up into the thundercloud.
This reminds me of the fight against Kaido, where he literally did this.
Yeah, he did this exact same thing against Kaido.
I also, that's Zoro. Remember his name. He's a samurai. That's the lyric, right?
And the LADY Nami's not shy.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, there it is.
For some reason, Luffy's really gassing up Zoro. It's hey, remember his name. I knew you could do it. Thank God you're here.
No, I think Zoro's the man who's going to be king of the pirates.
I really
you're the
am
captain
a big
now, Zoro.
I'm a big Zoro fan. I think
you're
he's
the
doing
man
this
now, dog.
I think he's doing this to also like show he's on my crew. Like when you're putting a wanted poster out there next time, remember Zoro. He's on my crew.
It seems a little off. Just like it's like when you want someone to be your friend. Like, hey, they're my friend. Look, you're my friend over here. Hey, we're friends, right? We're here all the time together. It's just very funny.
and Sanji's over there. Like it's like when you're just like introducing random people that I'm like, no, I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just here to kill the children. That's what I don't care about your friend. Go ahead. Sorry, Lucas.
And then we get Luffy in the next panel, creating a scope out of his finger because he is out of his curled fingers because he is in Nika mode, and reality can be whatever he thinks is funniest in a given moment, I guess. And then, he blasts Summers with a giant Dawn Thor rifle. And while I know we just mentioned how that kind of alludes to the Kaido fight, my memory reading this panel, I immediately went to, is that One Piece movie 10 with the legless Kaido? Yeah, I think that's where they first introduced like the naming convention of Thor for electrified.
It was
attacks.
Thorax, I think he used against
Thorax, correct.
Shiki.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the first thing I thought of. With
And then,
Thor, someone pointed out
it was a Gear Third Gigant Thorax.
Mm-hmm.
But Thor, I think the Dawn Thor might have been used. I need to double check, but I think Thor has been used as a naming convention.
I think
in
he
the
used
manga
it against
well.
Danchin Zhao.
Yes,
Is
that's
that
what it
correct?
was. A bunch of people in our Discord were talking about that. So yes, you're right.
But then
it wasn't a rifle, but it was a Thor.
And I appreciate that Luffy's first big attack of this arc is it uses the Thor namesake. That's tying into the Norse mythology that this is all drawn from.
Punching
really well.
Summers. That's always good.
That's also great. More of that.
I like that we're compounding prefixes. It's not just Dawn rifle or Thor rifle. It's Dawn Thor rifles.
To be fair, it wouldn't be the first time we were compounding prefixes.
But like how far can we go? Like, is the final attack of the series going to be like a giant Dawn Thor jet
by the
right
time
there?
he's done, time he's
Zach.
done saying the attack name, the series would have already been over. Like that's how you know.
All of the Nika attacks have been Dawn something too. We saw a lot of Dawn moves in Egghead.
And there's a pun with it, which I forget what it is now.
Well, it's Romance Dawn, the Dawn sound effect, the
Dawn sound effect too. I think there was
maybe it's what D stands for.
Oh, we'll see.
I like that Luffy needs to aim at all.
True, that part makes no sense. The rest of this makes complete sense, but that part.
It's like this needs to be really precise as I throw a fist that's 10 times as big
you'll
as the
see
guy I'm
why.
punching.
Ken, why don't we finish out this attack at least before we have a discussion?
Because this is a massive attack, which just
literally.
So continuing on from the last page, Summers is being obliterated.
His teeth are all fucked up. I love it.
Like the punch, I thought it was just lightning coming off the punch, but he's literally being split, like severed into multiple pieces.
The teeth are the least of his concern right now, though. Artistically, my number one concern.
Teeth are broken, eyes are bugging out, bloody as all hell. Top of his scalp is off, the middle of his head is broken. Like it's just
it
completely.
Answers. Sorry, Ken. It answers the question. What if Eneru were getting punched and split in half while giving the Eneru face? We now have that answer.
Just like the tongue is going completely like horizontal out of his mouth too. It's one of the best. I think we were talking about this in the Discord earlier. It's one of the best punches we've ever had in the series. I think it's so good.
Fallout certainly.
I'm imagining the meme with like the thick book and the thin book, like One Piece and One Piece if Luffy just fucking killed guys.
It's all the best punches are when celestial dragons get punched.
Agreed.
We can say this for later, but like I think it's safe to say that if this man here couldn't regenerate, this would be a pretty killing blow from Luffy.
Well, I have questions about that, but we'll get there.
We'll talk about that later. So the punch connects, and all the giants are celebrating Straw Hats. And with Summers now out of the picture, all the vines are falling off the children. And I think this is Ilva here saying, "Oh, it came off, Mommy, look." And we see
I'm a big kid now.
Mommy, look, the invisible thorns are gone.
Mommy, wow,
I can't
I'm a big
hurt you
kid
anymore.
It gives her a hug while holding it. Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
And we have Colin and Ripley looking up at Luffy in the air. And I think this is Colin saying, "I finally got to see Luffy all in white."
No, this is Ripley, isn't it? I thought it was.
Is it Ripley?
Well,
they're
that's
both
her
looking
on the
up at
bottom of
him.
the first half of the page.
Okay, so yeah, whoever it is, if it's Ripley, then it's Ripley.
Believe it or not.
I finally got to
I'll make
see
that
Luffy
joke every
all in
week.
white. I can't believe it. He looks just like Nika. I think he really is the warrior of liberation. Okay, that makes sense. And then I guess Ripley collapses as soon as she sees Luffy in the sky.
And
It's
also,
diamonds.
but it makes sense. It's a good joke. It makes sense that Ripley would be the one saying it because the Giants did have they knew about Luffy and the
Right.
potential
Yeah, it makes
connection.
more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sommers, as he's like still in pieces and kind of like falling to his demise, he's like, Nika, a bedtime tale for children. Ah! As he's falling.
What happens to him in the second panel? Like, I'm genuinely, is he there? Or is he like exploding? Is it supposed to just be that we're zooming out or?
I think we're just zoomed out very far.
I took it as he's like, because that's Loki's claw coming down. So I took it as like Loki's like stomping on him.
Oh yeah, he goes, and then it goes splat at the end.
That's how I took it.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, he better be dead. I'm fine with him being dead. He does not need to still be alive after this.
Yeah.
Will he still be alive? Probably. Does he need to be? No.
He's gonna regenerate. There's probably gonna be a little more.
He's
shit.
still talking even when with this dome.
Yeah, he's like, yes,
flown off.
But that wouldn't be the first time. He's already like Gaban already like messed
Injured
him up
him,
pre
He's
Flashback.
scoffing at the punch.
Does every
It's merely a flesh wound.
does every Luffy attack when he's in Nika mode, does that have Conqueror's Hockey in it?
Yeah, well, so probably.
So
I mean,
then-
we see the black lightning here,
Right.
so certainly in this attack. But I think almost always. Yeah.
So then he might not be able to recover. Summers might
That's what I
not be
was
able to recover
thinking.
from that. Yes.
Well,
yeah.
is it a devil fruit? I don't think it's a devil fruit that's making him recover.
Okay.
That's also true, but it's the same. I agree with Lucas in that we saw with Harold that Conqueror's Hockey, given enough of Conqueror's Hockey, it will, stop the regeneration process in these people. We also don't know if these people are like. There was also the five elders and Egghead at the end when Emmett has the tie that, blasts that insane hockey. It blasts them back. It re-astral projects them back into the Mary
Through the
Joa.
abyss circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, is that how this would work here? Since like,
I assume it's like Piccolo rules. Like if the brain is intact, then the rest of it.
not
Cell
cell
rules.
rules. Yeah, that's why. Or Boo rules, which are no rules.
Well, Cell gets his rules from Piccolo. Let's be real.
No, that Boo Saga. Yeah, no. Piccolo came back from like his head when he was a
Yeah,
statue.
I was talking about
yeah.
Boo specifically, but whatever.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of regeneration in Dragon Ball
Yeah,
and in One
Dragon
Piece,
Ball.
apparently.
As long as your nucleus is intact,
Yeah,
as long as your
Boo's a lot
brain is
like
intact or
Nika.
whatever. Yeah, I don't think Boo has a brain. I think he's just he just has like an original cell somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't
All
think
right.
Boo has a brain either. Ken,
Continuing on,
Sorry.
now that Summers has been splat by Loki to the ground, we have more giants commentating. It's Niddhoggr. Is that what saved us? Then let's go. Yeah. So just more mass chaos happening. Then from afar, we have Chopper and Gaban kind of watching the action from the safety of, I guess, another branch somewhere. And Chopper's like, "What's that?" And Gaban responds, "It must be Loki. I've never seen that before." And then we have Gaban flashing back a little bit to the day that Harold died. And someone asks, "What's the treasure of Elbaf?" And I'm assuming it's Jarul saying, "A devil fruit, a forbidden one."
Sam,
You're up.
take us back. All the way back to the flashback, which we're back in.
Somehow.
Jarl explaining that it is the dragon fruit mythical type model, Niddhoggr. No matter who eats it, they will transform into the largest dragon in the world. and the maximum size of the beast corresponds to the one who eats it. In other words, if a giant eats it instead of a human, or an ancient giant instead of a giant, the potential power of the fruit is extracted in greater measure. It is said that the obsidian dragon breathes lightning and is so vast that the day falls into the night when it flies.
By the way,
and,
I know Sai was hoping for purple or pink, which maybe we'll get, but obsidian makes me think it is definitely black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like this this little chart they're using to explain the sizes.
With the adorable Niddhoggr.
It's the friendliest, like,
cute.
Figment the imaginary dragon Loki there is out there.
Well, this is actually very similar to the one that the
dream,
sleep
the
tid.
dream cryptid, yeah.
So I guess
that's
it
why,
makes sense.
I think that's why they were hoping for purple, because Figment was purple.
Yeah.
But
well, we didn't talk
maybe
about this.
Jarl, maybe it was from Jarl's stream, the Niddhoggr.
We didn't talk about this, but just the Loki design, now that we're seeing a little bit more, he has like Loki's like fur coat kind of in his like skin. So it looks like the dragon's wearing a coat. So that could be where we get the purple and pink accents.
That's interesting. You also get his helmet thing. Like, it's very interesting how
His horns, yeah.
Yeah, well, like, he has the bandage around his horn and then, like, the plate above at the top of his head on the previous page.
It's metal there.
But Sam, please continue. We got so distracted.
Yeah, we have the young Gabon and Shanks are listening to this, and Shanks is saying, "And due to the danger this power poses, you've been making sure no one can eat it?" And Jarl says, "Not quite. If anybody tries to eat the fruit, the guardian hammer Ragnir blocks their attempts. In Elbaf, we have a legend about a warrior god. He wielded a weapon known as Ragnir, Iron Lightning, and turned into an enormous dragon to fight off against the sun god. He fought alongside a trusted loyal ice squirrel known as Ratatoskr. In other words," and we have a little diagram of this ancient Nika and ancient giant.
Interesting that they were enemies. I think that
Yeah, with the ancient giant wielding the hammer. Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, did you have something to say, Zach?
No, I didn't.
Okay. In other words, without its master, Ratatoskr chose to inhabit his weapon instead, and waits for its owner to return. So says the legend.
Because that's just something he can choose to do.
And we return to the present with the voice carrying over. And now Ragnir, after an eternity of standing guard over the fruit. And we just got like Chopper with his eyes popping out and Gabon looking stern and stoic. After an eternity of standing guard over the fruit, he has finally chosen. And we turn the page.
Yeah, Ed.
Loki, and he's hovering there, his tongue wagging, lightning crackling everywhere, and mouth open, and he starts to fire his laser, and it sort of looks like it's balling up in his mouth, and the laser is about to explode, and it does, and Gunko is looking over it.
Yeah, I love seeing the scare. What a cool page. This is such a cool page. The sleep tids are horrified.
Oh, yeah.
Poor bear and that skeleton. I forgot the name.
I don't remember.
Niddhoggr.
Yeah.
For a second there, I thought that was Brooke. I'm like, what's he doing here? Shit.
I mean, you're not wrong to think that.
That is a very Brooke skeleton face, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, most skeletons look kind of similar, not to generalize, but
I love the sleep tid Niddhoggr and running away. It's like when a little dog like tries to yell at a big dog and immediately regrets it and starts running away. And Loki's just chasing after them like a happy dog, like tongue out. Like the dragon keeps Loki's tongue out, which I really like a lot. And he just looks so happy to finally get to kill a bunch of monsters.
Finally.
Maybe this is the point to bring this up. Is this?
You can hear him howling like.
As far as we're aware, this is Loki's first time transforming into a drag, like a full zone transformation, right? I don't think we saw enough in the flashback to
that we've seen after he gets the fruit, he does leave to the sea for a couple of years. So I'm assuming he used this power and that's how he got around and whatnot. But this is the first time we've seen it in any real capacity, and he's not been able to transform since Shanks locked him up.
I forgot he had time. I forgot he did a semester abroad, traveling around, figuring himself. I thought he was justifiably killed his dad and then was immediately locked down. But
he had a couple of wild college years until Shanks brought him home.
Understood.
He proposed to Chiffon.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So we go to the next page.
Was it Chiffon or Lola?
It was Lola.
Lola, yeah.
And then they tried passing Chiffon off as Lola.
Yeah.
That's right. And he
how
could
did
tell
Lola
the difference.
turn this down? When you're the biggest dragon in the world, how do you turn this down?
I mean, maybe you don't want to live with the biggest dragon in the world.
Speak
Is
for
that
yourself.
unreasonable? I am speaking for myself. Anyway, here is Loki's attack Thorheim. And what an attack as it
boom.
As it booms. But you see the sleep-tid carnage. I don't know what other way to put it. As the false Niddhoggr head is off, just like the skeleton guy whose name you just mentioned that I forgot again.
Niddhoggr.
Niddhoggr, thank you. I love this top left panel of Loki just looking, slightly bemused, but Luffy imitating, yeah, go get him, and then the Ratatasker squirrel just jumping like, yeah, look at you, good job. Remember,
looks like he's giving like a peace sign or something, like Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that.
Yeah, or just like, I thought it was just jumping up and down, but it's funny because you remember that these two are the size of like a skyscraper, and they're just like acting like cute little guys here on top of the insanely sized Loki. Meanwhile, Gunko sees, and by Gunko I mean Emu, who is peering through her eyes. I see. So, Niddhoggr, that's where thou were. I knew I left you somewhere.
Like some lost car keys.
Yeah. Shit, that's where I left the Niddhoggr fruit. Damn it.
I left the Elbaf fruit in Elbaf? God damn it.
To be continued. And we'll be back next week.
I'll be back next week.
Hell yeah.
Ed, do you want to give your thoughts?
Yeah, it's really cool. Honestly, I haven't been following the manga so closely. I don't have a great understanding of what's been happening in the last few chapters, but this is very impressive. Yeah. I wish Loki was more focused. He's just sort of going off here, but he looks very cool doing it. And very satisfying to see Summers get wrecked. That's the best part of the chapter. Overall, very enjoyable chapter. Loki has many possibilities going forward. He has lots of potential. Would like to see him join the crew, but he would have to ride in a sidecar, like we said.
I think at this point he should just be the boat. Just ride on the back of Loki like he's like Zunisha. Have a whole city on his back.
Fun chapter.
Yeah. Lucas, thoughts?
So I am a little bit of two minds on this one. On the one hand, I think this is a really great not introduction isn't the right word, but like Loki is now like establishing himself and like the role he can play in this story, the effect he has, the payoff of the Niddhoggr as a creature, not only just being huge and intimidating, but also like this huge destructive force that was,
and also
so
the
big
Emu has opinions about Niddhoggr.
Yeah, and this is why Emu wanted that. I presume that maybe this is confirmed. I presume that Emu's plan was that she was going to have, I don't know if gender for Emu was confirmed, but I think strongly implied female. Emu wanted to have Loki's dad eat this devil fruit as he was under their control. And obviously why, because this is terrifying and awesome, and Loki is all the more scary being just juxtaposed against silly guy Luffy and a squirrel. That is amazing. And of course, love seeing Sommers get his shit rocked. That has been a long time coming, and that is terrific. And I struggle to remember the last time a One Piece villain, I know y'all compared him to Spandam, but like got off on this kind of torture and violence. And it's really great to see him get wrecked. But also, like, man, would have been cool if the less combative Straw Hat Pirates had more of a time to engage with this situation, try to do anything to address this situation. I use their power sets in interesting
Zoro
ways.
had to be cool this chapter, which I love to see. It's my favorite.
But Zoro's cool every other chapter, and like I love to see it too. Big Zoro fan over here, but
That's my boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a little bit into that vein of criticism that's like, oh, well, I wish it had been this other thing. But for what we did get, it was terrific and phenomenal.
Ken.
This was great. I kind of get what you're saying, Lucas, how it wasn't like, not a lore heavy chapter per se, but like, hey, here's a bunch of action. You saw Loki last week. Now let's see what he can actually do this week. Show a couple more attacks. I love the way Loki
what does Loki want to do now?
I love the way that Loki looks. I'm so impressed with the design and the scale of it all. It feels like we're just cleaning off the board really quickly and getting rid of all the sleep tids and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like the question of what does a 30-ton dragon do next? Whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants. Loki doesn't want to eat. He wants to hunt. I do worry though, because it seems like Loki is so overpowered. Like, okay, like, is this arc getting wrapped up next week? Because at this point, I can't see anything stopping Loki. So I feel like something horrible has to happen on the horizon to balance things out. But that could just be me being a little bit of a downer about things. The only thing I really want to talk about was the stuff with Ratatasker and what we learned about Nika and this ancient warrior god, because we were talking about this a little bit earlier, me, Sai, a couple of the other folks, like, this seems to imply that, I don't know how do I want to put this. So we see the god fighting Nika, and so it raises the question, was Nika an actual entity in this world? Or are we seeing like, oh, this is the first user of the Nika fruit versus the first user of the Niddhoggr fruit way back when? And you can either say, okay, these are both gods. Like, all right, so Nika and this god...
all sorts of legends can become devil fruits. We don't know exactly why or how.
Well, yeah, if we're going off...
But is he a legend?
Yeah, it's the theory that all devil fruits are born from wishes. So, okay, people wanted Nika to exist, and that's why the fruit became a thing. But this is an actual Nika fighting an actual god. So is this a story they told, or was there an actual Nika at some point in time, or is this just the first user? Like, that's right. I keep going in a circle in my head.
Is this Joy Boy?
Yeah, well, Joy Boy we think was the second user then.
No, yeah, at least.
Yeah, because then we know here...
Nika might not have even... I mean,
like, is Joy Boy the origin of the Nika legend?
Well, but no, here's the thing. Now we know that Loki's fruit has not been eaten now since the original owner passed, because it says here that Ragnir never deemed anyone worthy to eat the fruit until Loki. So this fruit has been dormant. Like even Harold said, the fruit has been laid dormant for centuries. So that means that this warrior who fought quote unquote Nika, it's either him fighting Joy Boy or him fighting someone else. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm getting too lost into the weeds here, but there's definitely something weird here with, okay, we need these timelines in order, and how does this work exactly? And then the fact that Ratatasker he's an ice squirrel, so does that mean he's a giant squirrel that ate an ice fruit, or just ice squirrel by nature, so he has ice powers, and then he chose to inhabit the hammer? Like,
how?
Is that just a power of ice squirrels?
Oh, if you try hard enough, you could inhabit anything.
Anything's possible.
Yeah,
like, does
really.
he have a possess fruit and possess the hammer? Like, I don't know how you get how do you get the squirrel into the hammer is what I'm trying to figure out here.
And also, how is the squirrel immortal?
Yeah. Like, when we first saw the hammer...
Because if you believe in yourself enough that you're a hammer...
What if the original Ratatasker was a squirrel devil fruit user who died, and then the the weapon ate the squirrel fruit.
Yeah, that's another logical thing. Like when we first saw the hammer, I thought
that's very logical that hammers become.
I thought it was a hammer
squirrels because the human that ate a squirrel became a squirrel.
When we first saw the hammer, I thought it was a hammer that ate the Ratatasker fruit. That's why it can live forever, because it's a hammer. The hammer can't die. And then, okay, we know that when a item eats a devil fruit, it gains the personality of the fruit. Like if it's a dog, like the gun becomes a dog kind of thing. So okay, so did Ratatasker then turn into a fruit, and then the hammer absorbed it? It's made it sound like he chose to go into the hammer. So that I have a billion questions, and I'll move on from this. But that was the part that had me the most puzzled.
No one has answers. Not even Oda, probably.
Well, yeah. I at the end of the day, it's like this is gonna be an SBS question. Like, how did the squirrel get into the hammer? And it's gonna probably like, there's a little door on the side, and he goes in. Like, it's gonna be some dumb answer, probably. But
one thing I would also like to say while we're on this panel, I believe previously we categorized this as whoever ate the Nika Nika fruit at the time was an enemy to the Elbaf figure of legend who ate the Niddhoggr fruit. But they were
and who gave that Nika a sword? Come on, it's a bad idea.
They were a warrior culture for most of their history. And then I guess within the past like 20 in-universe minutes of One Piece now, I don't know, that might not be... Yeah, they might not be enemies there. I don't want to paint it that way quite yet.
They're enemies who are probably about to become friends, is kind of how the story reads to me.
This is a shonen.
That's a good point too, because there are the people on Elbaf who think, half of them think Nika is a force of bad, and half of them think Nika is a force of good. So if everyone's like, "Oh yeah, he fought our warrior god, he's bad," like no, they were sparring, they were friends. Like I could see it going both.
But it sounds. I'm reading it. In Elbaf, we have a legend about a warrior god. He wielded a weapon known as Ragnir, Iron Lightning. I'm glad we get confirmations as to the powers here. And turned into an enormous dragon to face off against the sun god. He fought alongside a trusted, loyal ice squirrel known as Ratatasker. In other words, without its master, Ratatasker chose to inhabit the weapon. To me, there's a lot of suppositions here, but one is that this ancient warrior god, if you need a lot of adjectives there, died or was done in some capacity, to the point that Ratatasker felt like he needed to inhabit the weapon. So, by the way, for those keeping score at home, the weapon Ragnir has Iron Lightning powers. The squirrel Ratatasker has ice powers.
No, Zach, I think you're confused. Ragnir.
No, I think he's right.
The name Ragnir is Iron Lightning. The lightning's coming from Loki because it's a lightning dragon. He's channeling the lightning through the hammer.
A weapon known as Ragnir, Iron Lightning.
Ragnir means Iron Lightning when translated.
Oh,
from Elbathian.
Okay,
I think it's probably from Norse, if anything. But
right.
But well, that's just even more confusing.
Well, yeah, because this giant that's fighting Nika has the Niddhoggr fruit, and the Niddhoggr has lightning.
He breathes
powers.
Lightning. Is what this is actually confusing me now. So
if he eats lightning, he craps thunder.
It's a better Eneru fruit.
Let's just take a step back. Niddhoggr breathes lightning.
Yes.
And is so vast that the day falls into night when he flies. So he's the dragon of the Dragon Ball series, obviously.
Yes.
Except he doesn't grant
Loki.
he doesn't grant wishes. He kills people.
He's one of those GT dragons, Loki Shenron.
But then Ragnir, so before Ratatasker inhabited it, did Ragnir do anything?
No.
So you're saying no.
It's a powerful weapon.
Except that it was called Iron Lightning, but it was the fruit that had the lightning.
Correct.
Right. The Iron Lightning may be like Steven just like hinting at the kanji.
For Ragnir.
Yeah,
I can almost guarantee this is what happens, right? That Ragnir is written in kanji with furigana pronouncing Ragnir.
But
and
wouldn't
the
that be a
kanji says iron
katakana
lightning.
word, Ragnar? Because that is a
Yeah,
foreign
because what
word.
they often do is they'll use kanji and then they'll write the pronunciation out on the side, and they can be different. Like they can be there's creative liberty there. That
In Japanese kanji, Ragnar means Iron Thunder.
yeah, like Red Hawk is pronounced Red Hawk, but the kanji is the same as Fire Fist.
Yeah. And then we saw a couple chapters ago when Loki used the hammer, he did an ice attack. That's because that's the squirrel in the hammer using the ice powers through the hammer.
Yeah, because that would make sense that the hammer itself is not both lightning and ice. It's,
Correct.
It's
It's
the
just
ice
ice.
because it has And before it was ice, it was just a hammer.
That he used to channel his thunder powers.
Since we're stuck on this, since we're stuck on this panel anyway, I want to say I thought it cleared a lot up. It cleared nothing up and made it more complicated.
Oh,
I'm
it
gonna
definitely
say.
did.
This conversation.
I feel like I
has-
understand. I feel like we have the clear story here.
I just
don't
want to know
what-
how the squirrel got in the hammer. That's
Okay.
all I want.
I think
we don't know
Ratatasker
that.
is a. I think Ratatasker is a devil fruit like Nika.
Okay. I would, yes.
No,
I would be okay
no,
with that.
No. I disagree with several. Okay, first of all, there's definitely to go back to the Nika thing.
Okay.
There definitely was a Nika before Joy Boy. I want to remind everyone, Joy Boy existed 1,000 years ago. Oh,
You
that's
think
so
that-
long ago.
Wait, you think there was a physical Nika, or do you think people had the idea of Nika? It's like, because we have Zeus, and Zeus
yes,
isn't a real.
yes to both. Yes to
Okay.
both. So I will say,
The
Jarl
Roman god
is
Joyous Boyous.
yes. I don't like that. It sounds really gross for some reason. But Jarl is only 500. He is 1 or 2 generations removed from someone who would know Joy Boy, like potentially. He is
Okay.
saying in Elbaf we have a legend. You don't have legends from something from a generation or 2 back. That's not a legend. That's maybe like a story I heard from my father or grandfather.
Yes, the legend of Mugang.
Okay, so yeah, because
Right,
how
exactly.
far back? Because Lilith and Bonnie are in a house that's said to be like way older than even the
Correct.
Void
yeah.
Sanctuary, right?
Right.
So it's probably
No,
like from that time.
and we know the painting depicts things from much earlier. Like
Sure.
one of the interesting things about One Piece, taking even another step back, is that it is, it makes you think the stuff of God Valley, 20 something years ago feels ancient. But then you realize, oh no, there's even more to this world. 1,000
Void
years
Century
ago.
was 800 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was 800. But I mean, a lot of the stuff happening is between I think 1,000 and 800 or 900 and 800. So
There's always another legend. There's always another level of legendary.
And I'm sure, this is several generations, if not more, back before that. That, Nika in some form or shape or form probably existed before that. And we know that we have gone through the 3 worlds and that the world has sunk before, right? Wasn't there a whole thing?
Yeah, it's like the thing of saying when Caesar conquered Egypt and he saw the pyramids, he was as far away in time from the building of the pyramids as we are from him today.
Right.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, there's something about the depth of history and time that One Piece does manage to capture. And I think when we're on, that is a very difficult thing to capture because we're both connected to people of thousands of years ago and also completely living in our own little succinct moment in history here today. Not a good moment, but a succinct moment. And seeing this kind of thing in fiction it's really hard to convey and humanize because it's so distant from us in time. And I think that when I read One Piece, it is the one piece of fiction that I could really think of where I have to remind myself, about that kind of depth that exists.
That scale,
That scale. He has a scale. We see scale here in size with the Niddhoggr versus you get this. I didn't even notice on that page with the very cute Niddhoggr, you have a human that is the size of a nail there.
Yeah.
It is tiny. Then you have a regular giant who looks normal sized, and then you have the ancient giant who's relatively larger.
And there's Jarl over there with the sword in his head.
I mean, there's always Jarl there with the sword in his hand, but it's just this very interesting, discussion. But all that to be said, the Nika of legend, the Nika that's like imagined by the children of Elbaf, the Nika we see here fighting with an ancient warrior, I think that is millennia back more than one.
Yeah.
But so what's your point of confusion, though?
Oh, no, my point of confusion is in all the who's what and why is Ragnar named after lightning if it has nothing to do with it? And how did...
Because it's a cool name.
It's based off like Mjolnir. It's another name.
Are you mad that Lightning McQueen doesn't do lightning?
Yes, actually. Yes.
Ciao.
I am angry about that.
Loki McQueen.
Okay. I'll write it down, but I don't like it.
It's the one. It's our title.
Cool.
I'm done. Someone else can go next.
No,
that was my
I was just going to say, Ken, I was just going to say one last thing. Why... This was up to Oda to make. It doesn't need to be a cool name. It's like it's not like Lightning McQueen having lightning powers. It's like, if I had lightning powers, but I also had a car named Lightning McQueen that had nothing to do with lightning. I don't know. It just seems very like hat on a hat. Like
you can't imagine having a lightning themed set of accessories and vehicles and weapons.
It's just a name. Like it's
just because you've decided lightning is your identity.
I am saying as a story writer,
you want that to reflect it.
I am saying as a story writer, this is needlessly confusing.
I don't know. It doesn't faze me as a fan of Norse mythology. Ragnar makes sense to me.
So I love I love referencing Oda's writing conventions here because there is actually a great instance of Oda's writing conventions that I love on this very same page. I think that this is the first time the dragon fruit, the Ryu fruit, has been applied to something that I, in my mind, would immediately ascribe to being a dragon in the Niddhoggr. Mm-hmm. Previously, that was used for dinosaurs, I think almost exclusively, which is terrific. It was
dinosaurs and also Killingham.
Killingham. So, but that was Corinne.
The mythical dragon.
Yes.
I think someone on our Discord pointed that out, too.
That was Joey.
But also for various reasons, mostly because they're this is an entertaining little bit of history. When I think of Corinne, I imagine a giraffe because some Japanese emperor forever ago got a giraffe and tried to convince people that it was a Corinne. That's a real story, and that's why the beer is named.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But no, I think it was oh god, and I'm terrible with proper nouns. It was villain of the Wano arc. Why Kaido. Thank you. Oh my god, I am terrible.
I mean, Orochi technically too. Yeah.
It always got a laugh out of me that Kaido's devil fruit was technically the fish fruit model.
I have a theory related to that. Yeah. I don't know, Sam, if it's the same.
We might have the same theory.
We might have the same theory. We'll find. I think that dragon in the One Piece world is a Western dragon. I think it's that's my theory here, and that the reason because a dragon, the Japanese mythology of a dragon. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I really don't know enough about this to say anything, but probably has different origins than the Western mythology. I'm just going to take a big, leap.
Or the Magikarp.
Yeah.
Listen,
exactly. So my theory is different. I think
it's not right then. So
I think devil fruits can change over generations with the different users who awaken them and use them for different things that kind of gets inherited in their future users. So I think if the fruit was originally the fish fruit koi model, and a user in the past awakened it, and that there's a possibility that we would get an update and say that that same fruit's modern name is now dragon fruit Seiru model or whatever.
I don't think that's incorrect. That's impossible. I just
jumping off of that,
and that's the same reason why the human fruit Nika model can become the gum fruit.
No, because the gum fruit was a name.
I mean, it's all semantics either way.
Yeah,
but I think the name, for the same reason that a user can just eat a fruit and then they'll kind of instinctively know the name or how to use the powers. Sometimes, I think that there is a generational transformation of the soul of the fruit itself can change and its identity changes and its usage changes.
Ken, what were you going to say?
I took it as like almost like a power level thing where we saw in this chapter where if a human ate the Niddhoggr, it wouldn't be as big as an ancient giant. I bet if someone weaker than Kaido ate the fruit, they'd be a fish. They'd probably be a carp. It's only because Kaido ate it, and Kaido, even at a young age, was strong and indestructible.
No, but Momonosuke had it, and Momonosuke did look like a carp. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes, it's been criticized that Oda even kind of leans on Western. I mean, maybe more in Japan it's this criticized, but he leans on like Western stuff, like 3D2Y, like even the use of D. There are lots of like Western or Latin alphabet or like influences here that make me wonder, with Wano aside at least, like, okay, maybe like the naming, maybe there's like not an Anglo-centric, but like something akin to that in the One Piece world, like the person naming these. But or it's what Sam said, and it's just like they evolve over time, which is also possible.
I definitely think that that there was a previous user of the fish fruit who awakened it into a dragon, and that's why it's a dragon when Kaido eats it. And I think that's probably going to be like maybe a thing we see in a Void
I think it's a really cool Flashback. I actually think that is a really cool concept. Idea, yeah. I don't know if it's actually a really good way for Oda to retcon things too, potentially. Like if he works himself into a corner.
It's a devil fruit is as strong as how you use it. A devil fruit is a representation of humanity's desires.
Well, I think of it like you're almost like transforming a fruit itself into something. Like when you make apples into an apple pie, and you really transform its original apple essence.
Human imagination transcends the limitations of any given fruit's powers, I think.
I guess that would be a fish pie, though.
That's a thing.
So I like the idea of evolving devil fruit as well. Like, that is fun creatively. My only pushback against that is that within One Piece, there are weaker versions of devil fruit. I forget if it's canon or not, but like the heat fruit is functionally a weaker version of Ace's fire fruit. And then the I forget who's head of the Marines right now, his name, but then the magma
fruit.
Thank you. Is
there's also the Ms. Valentine, since we're about to see her in the live action.
Yes.
And then there's a Dressrosa.
Ton versus Kilo.
Yeah, or something like that.
Stupid.
There are just and Oda did a thing on that. There are just classes of that kind of fruit.
Yeah, I mean, you just wanted to reuse some ideas because there's only...
Or he
even
forgot.
For Oda, there's only so many. Or he forgot. Or there's just even for him. There's only
evolution. It all comes back to Pokemon.
I mean, the convergent evolution. It's like how everything eventually becomes a crab.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I don't know what that's a reference to, but it's true.
Evolution. Like all
those are my thoughts
there's many
on the chapter.
species.
Thank you, Ken. Sam,
there are many species of crab that evolved independently of each other.
I want to eat.
They don't have shared ancestors.
Sam,
I like the chapter a lot. I enjoy indulging in a bit of ultraviolence, like with Samaras getting his head blown off. That is very cool and very exciting. I do like seeing. I mean, I wasn't here last week to talk about how cool Loki's design is. I love that it's both like cool, but there's like still a little bit of dopiness to it that just sort of like offsets it to just make it even cooler.
Which fits really well for Loki, I think, who, whether he knows it or not, is trying really hard to be cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's the classic kind of One Piece thing of like the coolness cannot exist without some dopiness to like,
which is true in
undermine
life too.
It.
Yeah, I like
which just kind of like humbles it and makes it more relatable and more appealing.
Yeah, that's why he has the squirrel.
I do really, really wish that like in pages 4 and 5, like that's the big Loki panel. That's the kind of panel I wish could have just been a whole 2-page spread by itself. I wish he had
does like 4 of those though, and that could have been that too. But I agree, that is a gorgeous panel.
Even something just as simple as that, just get the establishing shot of like, damn, he's big.
I agree, but he did do that. He actually did that at the end of the previous chapter. Like that was a full 2-page spread. I don't know how many times he could do that in a series where he wants to fit every little thing in every little page.
There's not enough he can do that, I don't think.
I do agree with that sentiment. Anything else, Sam?
That should do it.
Yeah, I mean, the panel I really want to talk about, we talked about. So, the Summers thing was great. How wonderful. Like, this is when you need to have ultraviolence, as Sam pointed out. Like, that, the teeth, it hurts to look at, but it should, like, perfect. And that his literal head splits. And this is not the first time he has had body, I don't want to say mutilation because it's completely ripped into pieces. So I don't know. It's worse than that, a step beyond that. But really great. Like very, as I think Steve put it when we were talking about it, bigpunchies.com, a domain that we actually have. Yeah, wonderful stuff. This chapter is also just gorgeous. Like, art-wise, I think this might be one of my favorites in a while. Like, I think it just really hits on all cylinders throughout. Someone pointed out Luffy having, on page 6, having the tiny hat, even, though he's giant. But also, he has cartoon logic. Why can't he have a giant hat, too? Like, give the boy a giant straw hat, and then put it in a basement at Marijoa somewhere. We'll probably get an explanation of that someday. This is, and the one thing that we didn't talk a lot about, first of all, where's Brook? Is he okay? I hope he's okay. Second, the Emu Niddhoggr connection is also interesting. So we talked about, this, like, brings up more questions about Cam, what we were talking about with, like, the depth of history. So if Emu knows Niddhoggr, how far back do they go? Or did he hear about it, or did she or they hear about it from a legend as well? Like, what is the connection there? Also, does Emu just get to hang out in his butterfly garden while they're like inhabiting Gunko's body, or like, I don't know. I feel like they should be in some sort of chair, sitting down or something. I don't know.
It just occurred to me this the aesthetic connection between, well, I think Loki plainly, but especially Loki in his Nidhogg form, very devilish design there, and then that panel in pages 16 and 17, Emu in the silhouette, looking very much like a devil. I do wonder, how far does that go? Is there more of a, I mean, I described it like Emu just wanted that power, but is there like any kind of connection? Does Emu know whatever motivated the creation of the Nidhogg fruit? If that dream theory, devil fruits or dream theories, is accurate. But it soft confirmed. Like, I think that's being flagged at. That's being very heavily implied right now. But yeah.
And just like, what role did Nika play? What role did Joy Boy play? What role did Emu play? And this ancient giant? And what time periods are we talking about in all these? Like, it's, I don't know. There's like a lot here. There's a lot that we don't know that Oda actually seems to have some structural idea about. And I'm wondering what we're supposed to grasp from that. And we might know next week, or we might know in like 6 years. Either way is completely possible at this point. One very last thing. I love that he is keeping the aesthetic for Loki with the eye flame looking thing. It is the coolest. And I love it. And Ratatasker, one of my new favorites of this arc. Love a giant animal who reaps destruction. I think that's the right word. Did we talk about Thorheim, or is that just two words that are kind of Norse-ish that we assume? Because when I look it up, it's just some Norwegian politician or something.
Well, it's like it's Thor and Helheim together.
Yeah, I just assumed it was. Yeah, I just assumed it was like
it's more Norse mythology being mashed together.
Yeah,
that's what Ragnar is too. It's Mjolnir and Ragnarok. smashed together.
Oh. Still makes no sense. How'd the squirrel get in there? I do love the answer he just entered through the door.
There's a door in the hammer. He just walked in.
There's a door in the
He's
hammer.
gonna keep our elf.
But then, and somehow it makes you immortal when you stay in the house. Why would you ever leave? No, but we know he transforms because it was moving and stuff. And
Apparent Tasker's working from home in the hammer.
This could also be...
Yeah. That's remote work. This is what it does. It keeps you living.
Yep.
We're also getting
Lucas.
all of this information from characters as the story is playing out. So this could be an instance of like, oh, we're getting the information that the characters have, what is not necessarily
the truth,
accurate information.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's important is that Loki / a squirrel / the hammer have an ice, lightning, iron lightning, lightning breathing, lightning farting devil fruit. And that's really what matters.
The ice comes from the squirrel who's in the hammer. The lightning comes from Loki, who's the dragon.
The hammer comes from being a hammer.
Yes.
The hammer.
I love how confused you are about this concept.
I would actually just love it if it were a normal hammer and like it's just involved in so many stories over the course of this culture's
that's what Kat is saying.
That that's terrific.
Well, because now there's a
I
squirrel
love
living
that
in it.
actually. Yeah.
No, because you said the hammer has no special powers.
It was a normal hammer that he channeled his own lightning powers through. Then
but why was
died,
it then?
And then the squirrel went into the hammer. So
why
now
is it such a great hammer then?
But Loki can channel.
Because it's cool.
It's metal.
Why are
Loki
Zoro's swords special, Zach?
That's all it is. Just
why
a
is
hammer.
Zoro's sword special? They each have like a freaking backstory to them. What are you asking me that for?
Ragnar does too. We just don't know about it. We just know that somebody else knows about it.
I get it. I'm just saying that. But Ken is saying it's just an ordinary hammer.
It is.
This
it's like the Wado Ichimonji.
Wait, this hasn't
of hammers.
I was just about to say this
of giant hammers that can conduct electricity.
The hammer did not have intellectual power, is what I'm saying. That's all.
The hammer had no intellectual powers. Okay.
No, not electrical. Not intellectual.
Are you saying hammers aren't smart now? You're saying hammers don't have brains?
To everything is a nail to them. Maybe they shouldn't generalize so much. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry, we're now getting a little bit of benefit, but this lore hasn't mattered in a minute, but I was just, thank you, Sam, for reminding me of, oh yeah, there are like tiers of swords in the One Piece world.
Yes,
like that is, and I now love the idea of that being true of hammers and maybe all instruments of warfare. Like okay, why not?
Usopp's repairing the mirror, early on. It's like, oh, you're using a grade 1
all right, let's do the
hammer.
hammer tier list.
Yes.
Ragnar was created by an expert hammersmith.
Can someone please go through all 28 years of One Piece and find pictures of every single hammer and rank them, power scale them? Internet, I know you could do it.
In Water 7, the wooden mallets they used to build the boats are not as good as Ragnar.
We call it hammer scaling.
Hammer scaling.
Okay, we're done. That's the chapter. We'll see you on the other side. Bye, everyone. Bye. We'll see you in the next segment. This is the Piece Together, where we take your questions, comments, theories, and decide whether or not they're ice-related or lightning-related. By the way, if you want to get your questions in guaranteed, the way to do that is become a Patreon subscriber at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. And you could get into Dispiece, our Discord questions, comments, theories. Sam, why don't you take us there?
All right. Our first Dispiece this week comes from Pongzilla, who says, I just think you are all awesome. That's it.
More of those comments. I love
I'm
it.
so glad I was on this episode. I needed that. That's going to get me through the week ahead. I appreciate that message.
It was on purpose, I'm sure.
Our next
but I'm glad that'll do that for you, Sam.
Our next Dispiece comes from Gekwa Moria (Slay). Hello, my fellow Sleep-Tid eaters. Loving today's chapter, with one of the great parts being the lore about Loki's devil fruit. I'm also excited about the upcoming live-action season and what lore they could add into it, especially considering both this arc and the upcoming season feature giants. My question is, knowing the live-action isn't one-to-one and they can remove things and add some lore earlier than its source, are there things you wouldn't mind being added or removed? For instance, would you be okay if Pell actually died in season 3, like how Mary, died in the live action?
Don't say that.
or would you want to make beloved Wanzi or Satori be more prominent? Be curious to know your thoughts. Have a great week, and fuck Summers and fuck Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a Luffy doing that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm very much riled up by this. Is it okay if I pop off for a second?
Please do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Terrific. Okay, so I think one that is phenomenal that the One Piece live action series is very clearly like inspired by not even the anime. I think I would like ascribe some of the choices made there to the manga. I think that makes it such a stronger adaptation instead of trying to, I don't know, modernize it. Trying to be an expansion of the work rather than trying to get this as close to a TV medium, a live action television show medium as possible, which I think was like ultimately the underlying issue with the Cowboy Bebop live action series that was just trying to translate like the anime into a live action series. And they just decided that like making it as Buffy like as possible was how to do that. There were a lot of issues there. So I think that is really cool, and how One Piece live action has consistently built upon not only just like materially like expanding things we know about the manga, things we know about the anime, like Zoro's encounter with one of the Baroque Works members whose name escapes me, the original Mr. Something.
Mr. Seven, I think.
Mr. Seven, yes, the first Mr. Seven. That was terrific to have that in the introduction of the show. But then also just how it was kind of reframing some of these items as some of these events with added cultural context too. This is, I'm a white guy, so like I can't go too hard in the opinion in defending this point, but I found it really interesting that Arlong was essentially calling Jinbei an Uncle Tom in the live action version of the series, and how him being essentially a privateer is like him selling out the fisherman people. That is a really great like iteration, and taking the themes that were always present in One Piece, making them a little more surface text, making them a little more accessible and digestible in this new format. I really admire the One Piece live action series as a work of adaptation.
I 100% agree with that. To be
I couldn't agree more.
The one thing I'm not sure about, like more with this question, I think, is like, okay, we know what happens in 1,000 chapters, so let's place little hints all over the place. Like sometimes I like that, but sometimes
I've heard,
I don't know.
I've heard some spoilers about some of the things that they are doing of that. I'm guessing Slayer King is maybe even referring to some of this. Some of these
song.
But there are examples in the first episode that people have been able to see. There are examples of that.
Yes,
of them doing that.
I mean,
I've
they
heard nothing,
did that.
so I have no idea.
They did that.
Well,
I could see them doing that
there.
more in this season. I've heard. I haven't heard anything specific, but I that sounds right.
It's interesting because it raises the question of like, are they Are they preparing for season 10 when certain people got to come back
I think
later?
It's fan service. I think it's fan service.
Is it fan service with the expectation that like some of that stuff may even get cut from future seasons later anyway?
I feel
or that the series can only go for like 4, 5, 6 seasons tops before it has to come up with its own Fullmetal Alchemist ending.
I feel like One Piece live action is. It feels like it's being written that like, hey, we're going to get through Alabasta, and everything after that is gravy. Like
yes.
But
I agree. That's Netflix for you.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
I think that I mean, I imagine like in the season ahead, we're going to get more allusions. Like I would be floored if the Laboon episode, it's probably just going to be an episode, if the Laboon episode plays out without like some kind of musical cue referencing Bink's sake and Bink Sake, thank you. And making that connection to Brooke more immediate as the story is playing out temporally than what we got in the manga, which is, that connection wasn't established until Brooke actually showed up as a character. I don't believe Brooke was foreshadowed at all.
Do you think they'll cast someone as Brooke for season 2?
Yes.
And like, here he is. And
well, to be fair, he won't be a skeleton. So.
Yeah, I know. No, I know that. But like,
they could always change it. Is the good thing. He won't be a 90-year-old skeleton.
True, so. But do you think like they picked a voice actor then for Brooke, or
is that the voice actor they're locking in for later?
First of all, I will eat my hat, of which I'm not wearing, if they actually get that far in the series, like without skipping something substantial.
I think they will.
Netflix, you think is going to get to Thriller Bark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think they'll skip Skypiea or Water 7 to get there?
No, they can't skip Water 7.
No, they would never.
How old will Iñaki be when they get to Thriller Bark?
I don't think it's even like feasible for the maybe Thriller Bark, but like certainly not much past that. Like that would really be like. I don't know how they would do that. They would also have to kind of change the story, to Sam's point, because they're going to get older, and these are all younger kids, or they're all in their 20s. I think, for the most
I don't
part.
know. I can see them doing it for some reason. I can see. I don't know.
I guess it kind of works because, like, before the time skip, I remember like reading the manga, and it felt like you're with those characters for years before the time skip even happens.
It was like a few months.
This all to be said, to take a step back where I was originally going. It kind of is eye-rolly to me sometimes when they like do like this is a nod to something that happens, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know. Like usually I enjoy fan service like that, but yeah.
I mean, like I see what Lucas was saying, where there are things that weren't hinted on ahead of time that like could have been like had they hinted at it then we'd be like, oh my god, Goda, he's the master of foreshadowing on that example too. Like the Brooke example would be a good one.
Yeah.
Is there equal opportunity to do stuff like that with like the One Piece, the Netflix anime?
Yes, and
reboot?
they probably will. I don't know how I feel about that. Like I'm torn because like, okay, you might as well take advantage of having this voluminous thing that has existed for almost 3 decades. Like, I get that. But, like, writing-wise, it feels almost like a cheat. Like you're using a cheat code or something. Like,
yeah, it's more about the fans pointing and going, like, I know that reference, than it is about, like, actually enriching the story.
I think, Sam, that's a good way, I think, of expressing my, I don't want to say frustration.
It's always the debate,
concern,
though,
your
of like
hesitation.
It's like people who watch the live action knowing the story and those who don't know, because like we'll see it and go like, oh, look, that's there.
It's not going to be a detraction for people who don't recognize that.
Exactly.
It's it's like a lot of meta humor and stuff where I am usually I can appreciate that and like find a lot of value in that kind of writing when something creative, something interesting, something building is being done with it. But if it's like a reference, that's like I mean, sure, all right.
I'll say one thing.
It gets cheaper the more you do it.
So you could skip ahead like 2 minutes or a minute if you don't want to hear. So like I know the song that came out like has a slight in the Little Garden one that Sonia and we interviewed them in season 1 of OPLA, but it references like dawn or something, referring to like a sun god or something like that. And like that kind of feels like that. Like, okay, I get, what you're doing, but is this really serving any sort of purpose, or you're just doing this so people could Leo point at the screen? But I think that's like the difference between good writing and popular writing, maybe, like, will people love that generally and eat it up? Sure. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got there. Yeah, go ahead.
To the other part of this question, though, so I am firmly in the camp that Pell should be dead, like in every version of the story. And
I'm sure he will be dead in this version.
Yeah, no, I think that they should commit to that. And well, I do appreciate how. I'm going to be one of the people who says this, who makes this comparison, how Tolkien-esque One Piece is. I do think that one of Oda's shortcomings as a writer is that he does not like to write characters out. He likes to keep all the pieces, as many pieces as possible, on the table. But that's not always effective. And I think that Pell, actually having lived, apparently, at the end of Alabasta, was a little... that's undercutting the themes of that story arc a little bit. But yeah, I don't think we'll get to that in this upcoming season. That seems like season 3 of live action One Piece. Yeah. But death to Pell, I guess. Cool character, cool design, but nah.
Death to Pell.
So like when that happens, I'm gonna say when, because that's definitely happening. He will die. And it will be brutal, and you'll see his guts everywhere, probably. But, like, okay, good. It's like you're giving us what we want, but you're doing it because you're giving us what we want.
Yeah, exactly. Like at that point, like I almost want him to survive just because it's funny.
Sam, that is your sense of humor in a nutshell, right there. Sam, what's the next question? We should move on because this is.
Hold on, I want to answer. I want to give my. I want Kara to join the crew. She should show up and she should stay permanent.
Just randomly.
They should bring her into the story earlier if they have to.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
Bring Yamato in earlier. Start the Wano arc early.
Netflix is gonna listen to the two of you because these. No. Yeah, they will.
No, they won't.
They will. They're both very popular characters.
Oh goodness!
I love that I get to be the tastemaker.
You do, Sam. Everyone said this.
Sam our next this piece comes from the colors of a cram. Apologies if that's not how that word is pronounced. Who says, the Slayer King has a Gekwa name. Colors of a cram has a Gekwa
icon. I got that.
Yeah. Yahoo OPP, banger chapter as always. I'm so glad that Oda is taking advantage of the immortality to allow Luffy to beat the shit out of Summers in more brutal ways than we're used to. And wow, Loki is high-key big. Where's Brook at the end, though? Did Loki kill him? Is all that's left a skeleton? Skull joke! Anyway, my question this week is, was Barney the dinosaur someone who ate the Niddhoggr fruit? Have a great week.
Now, Barney the dinosaur did eat a dragon fruit. We know that for a fact.
The mythical dragon bottle Barney.
I think it'd be really funny if, if mythical creatures can be their own models of devil fruit, could popular fictional characters from pop culture become.
I love that. That's a great idea, Sam.
Dinosaur fruit mythical type Barney model.
I always talk about spin-offs for One Piece. I want this. What Sam is describing, fictional characters as devil fruits were regular people. It's like an isekai, but for just, with One Piece devil fruits instead. So
it sounds like Tim Allen's the Santa Claus. He eats the Santa fruit.
Yeah. It's that concept. But
and the previous Santa had to die for him to get it. It's like somewhere between cuts. They just didn't show him eating the fruit.
For those who've seen that Comedy Central movie from a long time ago. What's next?
And also, this person says, P.S. What an amazing Akane chapter this week, too.
Yeah, I really like this week's Akane. It was good.
Our next diss piece comes from Wispy, who says, Hey, OPP, long time no see. So was it the Niddhoggr? So it was the Niddhoggr after all. Do you think that that may be what the design on the sail of the new giant pirates warriors ship was this whole time? Yes, actually, yeah. You're showing it to us. The masthead is kind of blocking the graphic on the sails, but their on the sails is
when
like a
was this from?
Profile.
What chapter
I don't know when this
was
is from.
It looks like Buggy on the right there, like in a bubble.
This might be a cover story.
Oh. It does. He has the helmet on.
It's
like
when Harden quits Buggy's.
Oh, it looks like a Hyruden helmet,
Yeah.
but with like a dragon of some sort. But it could totally be the
there's
Niddhoggr.
the masthead, and then behind it is like what I think is probably very likely a Niddhoggr graphic.
Or similar dragon.
I mean, at this point, why? What's the point of making it any other dragon?
Guys, there's more than one type of dragon. I don't know what they are, but there are many. They're diverse, mythical. Anyway,
like some are fish. Some of those dragons are fish.
Some of those dragons are fish. Do we even talk about that?
I do like that. If it is like, well, not the Niddhoggr as in Loki, but like a Niddhoggr as a cultural
that we know the
idea.
giants think about because their children draw
right.
Or dream
that would be
about it.
No, actually, that would actually be really fun if that is like. No, it's Hirudegan's helmet on this this thing that kids think are cool, a giant dragon, or scary in this case, but yeah. It's nice.
Our next dis piece comes from Sailor Karna, who says, "Hey OPP, I really hope that Steven is on because these names made with a few vowels are hard to say in English. I wonder how hard they are in Japanese."
I hate to say Steven does not speak Norwegian as far as we know. As far as we know.
At least in Japanese, you remove the ambiguity of like how you're supposed to pronounce it.
So, yeah. English sucks just generally as a language.
Our next disc piece comes from Big Mike, who says, "Hey OPP, I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable question. Oh egads,
Okay.
my disc piece question is ruined. What if I asked a World of Warcraft question and disguised it as a One Piece question? Delightfully devilish Big Mike, with the Midnight expansion pack for One Piece just releasing with a straw hat, heading to the elven kingdom of Quel'Thelas to deal with the Emu, and the threats of the void to engulf Azeroth in darkness, since the demon hunters are getting the Devour spec. Do you think Illidan is going to return soon? I remember Oda hinted that at his return in an interview, saying that Illidan's catchphrase "You are not prepared for the moment." Illidan's catchphrase "You are not prepared for that moment" when discussing the 13-step process of removing the giant sword.
I am so lost.
Sargeras
what
jammed
are you even
into
saying at this
Silithus.
point?
Illidan is what I call Yamato. It's a regional dialect.
Does anyone know what this?
It's a bunch of World of Warcraft parallels to One Piece. I kind of followed it.
I come to you for your World of Warcraft knowledge. Why do I have to answer questions for you?
What's the next question, Sam?
Our next question comes Luke. Did you?
So I can't contribute to this because of the extent of my World of Warcraft knowledge, and I can't believe I get to tell this show on this story on the One Piece podcast. I played World of Warcraft for a week in college because a girl I liked was into World of Warcraft.
Nice. Best reason to.
And then that relationship kind of fizzled out as soon as it started, and I've never gone back.
It's because of World of Warcraft.
Because World of Warcraft.
Which I actually think might be, you know what? That's all the World of Warcraft I need. That's all the WoW I need. That is the best way to play WoW, and the best for me, at least.
I don't play WoW because I am not a nerd.
What's next?
Our next disc piece comes from Tyler, who says, "The close-up panel of Summer's face made for a very satisfying bigpunchy.com. I am just curious.
It's bigpunchies.com?
Bigpunchies.com.
Yeah.
Make sure. You don't want to find out what bigpunchy.com is.
I don't want to find out what that is.
I'm just curious and excited to see as to what aspect exactly of Luffy as Nika and Loki as the Niddhoggr play in relation to the larger plot threads in the background. Is Loki the Niddhoggr an ancient giant who can maximize the full potential of the dragon fruit, who may also have a possible connection to Shirahoshi, parentheses Harry Denden Mushi, Uranus and the Uranus, I'm guessing, And the laser beam ship from Punk Hazard could be something else. Probably wrong here, but just spitballing the idea, Luffy, the same as Joy Boy, has been naturally collecting the 3 ancient weapons, Shirahoshi, Momo to unleash Pluton, and now Loki. Then all the powers and abilities with Emu is something totally new that Joy Boy could not overcome, but Luffy can with, well, you know, his Luffiness. That was longer than I thought. Have a happy week, dads of OPP. That includes you, Sabo. Sabo?
Yeah.
All those
They forgot the
qualities.
apostrophes.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be happy when he hears about that koala's gut biome.
I feel like Uranus should be like different than a ship and different than a person.
Yeah, I agree with Sam.
Yep.
That would be ideal. It's probably something flying because isn't the
it's
flying
the moon is like a
or-
Death Star.
Yeah, but also Uranus revolves around giant legends. So like if we hear about Uranus, I hope it is in this arc. Like for the first time, we like really haven't heard
Well,
anything
we
We
know
beyond
only
the
have
thing-
so many
we know-
arcs left to hear about it. So
True,
we know the
true.
thing that took out Lucia was Uranus, and they used the Mother Flame that got stolen by York.
No, we did not know it was Uranus. That was just a guess that it was.
Okay, but the thing that took
the-
out Lucia was powered by the Mother Flame.
Yes, but we don't know whether
That
the
it
Mother
was
Flame
Uranus.
is
Okay,
Uranus.
right.
I think probably related, but we don't know. We just put 2 and 2 together because it's flying and it's giant.
yeah, well, I was thinking that the Mother Flame would have to be like basically a 4th ancient weapon, but maybe it is.
Well, the Mother Flame's just the
It is
battery.
powering.
we
Yeah, it's the
don't know
battery
anything
for, like,
about
Uranus.
Uranus, so it could.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
a
know.
black box, so
It would be, I don't know, as we are talking about in this episode of the podcast, how One Piece is acting on such a scale. It would be a very kind of biblical illusion, which I think would be in line for the epic that the story is, to have like, one is sea connected, one is land connected, one is sky connected. Forgive me, fake fan. What is the status of the ancient? Like, we know Shirahoshi is confirmed to be one of them.
Shirahoshi is Poseidon.
Right.
The ancient weapon ship Pluton is what Frankie had blueprints for a copy of,
And
but the original one is in Wano.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's
It's
sunk at the bottom of
underneath
okay,
Wano.
yes.
no, that's not fake fan. That's easy to forget.
Yeah.
And Uranus, we really know nothing about.
Okay.
That's like kind of the. I'm actually surprised I don't see more internet stuff about that. Maybe because they're afraid to pronounce
Wait,
Uranus.
we
a certain
we
way,
do
but-
know that Uranus is the ancient weapon. Is the
No,
thing
we know
that-
it's an ancient weapon.
we know
Yeah.
the
No, 'cause
third ancient
remember
weapon is called Uranus.
Vegapunk said that every time an ancient weapon is used, the sea rises.
When does he say that?
Didn't he say that in his speech? Like, oh, the use of the ancient weapons caused the sea to rise.
He might have, but again,
Okay,
Vegapunk
yeah,
says that
I'm still
a
jumping to
power has been
conclusions,
used.
but-
there's still suppositions. Like I think they're
Yeah,
good ones,
I don't-
but they're not.
I guess
Yeah,
this
for
is the hair split on like whether we're considering the Mother Flame usage to be itself one of the 3 ancient weapons, or if it's like a different thing.
No. I think the Mother Flame was the battery to power Uranus, because Emu had Uranus,
that's
got
plausible.
the flame from York, and tested
But
it out
like,
with Lucia, and the sea rose. And Vegapunk's whole thing is like, oh, someone used an ancient weapon, the sea just rose.
I did not get I did not have the impression that we are saying that power is Uranus.
Okay.
I think it's plausible. Like I don't like that's definitely realistic. That's definitely in the
Gotcha,
realm
okay.
Now
of,
we're splitting hairs.
I'm just being, I guess I'm jumping to conclusions.
I guess
but-
like
I think
maybe
we all
maybe there
agree
is a
that
line.
it probably is, but we don't have. What we're trying to say is no one has said that.
Correct.
That's not
Okay,
explicitly been said.
Like maybe I'm wrong, and Vegapunk does literally say ancient weapons cause the sea to rise.
Normally, I would look this up, but I'm no. Let the
But
fans
I don't
yell at
remember
us in the
I don't
future
remember
about
It,
the correct
specifically
answer.
that.
It would fit the actions, the character writing of members of the world government, Emu.
100%.
If like,
They
they
just-
got one of them, and they are terrified of anyone else getting one of the other two.
I know
and, like,
they
well,
did
'cause-
express their interest in getting them.
Yes.
I'm just trying to remember if Ugh.
I guess
yeah.
to me, it's dramatically less interesting if Vegapunk did not create a new weapon, but instead just enabled the use of an old one.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is probably what happened. And that's probably the thing we saw over the Lucia. Like, they probably used the Mother Flame, which is the thing that powers Uranus. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm thinking the Mother Flame or whatever the Mother Flame is being used to power. Like, I feel like that's a new technology that Vegapunk gets to die feeling guilty he created. I think Oppenheimer
that's
and Einstein.
Yeah. I think that's
which is less true if it's just an accessory to the already existing ancient weapon.
Agreed. What's the next question?
But it's all definitely like it's. I wouldn't say that's the other interpretation is unlikely.
No, either way. What's the next question? Yeah.
Our final diss piece comes from Reverse Niddhoggr, who says, "False. Banger thorn launcher as always. So now that we know Loki's fruit, why the hell would he think he was Nika? At least according to Jarl, Elbaf / the Niddhoggr fought against Nika. Also, Steven Sungwon need to keep playing Final Fantasy VI. They didn't even get to the train part. Steve, you didn't do the train. Maybe they did do the train and they're just sitting on the recordings, but I don't know what their schedule is like."
Oh,
Loki would think he's Nika because he's a punk. Because he is like, I got the. Because he's a punk who doesn't know his culture super well, that actively was raging against the new culture his father was trying to create. So I can totally see him in his mind compressing this mythos and, I got this super important devil fruit. I must be the shit in every facet of our culture, of our legends now.
And also since his whole kind of thing is justifying his own existence because he was so he was so rejected as a baby. It's interesting.
There's a much kinder reading of that than what I just read.
I'm saying that is the reason he thinks like that. I think you are right, and that is because he's trying to I'm psychologically parsing down why he's acting like an a-hole in this situation. That was it, right?
That's
Sam?
it for this piece. Yep.
Let's check some of the other ways that we get it, including Reddit. Let's go to the subreddit Archipelago. Oh my god, here we go. This one's made just for me. This comes from Electric Dynamite, who says, since Zach is so upset about the missing volume cover box. Now, before I even read this question, I should explain why I'm so upset about this and what it is. So on the last week's episode, which please listen to, it's a very interesting episode with Steven talking about the One Piece magazine number 20. We also were talking about the new volume to come out and how if you look at every volume that Oda makes, there's a little box. Often they pop out of the box, but he's just recently started phasing the box completely out. And as a design feature. Anyway, it says, I think I should pop his bubble and my bubble, and list all the volumes that already were actually missing the box. There are more than you think. I won't count the times when the box is broken into separate panels, since it's still giving the same effect. Thank you, because I would also count that. But it would double the count. Yeah, I don't count that. That counts, I think, when the box is split. I'm going to add before this starts, I understand there are times when all the characters are in front of the box.
Mm-hmm.
The box, I still imagine being
understand.
there.
I understand your problem, Zach. I understand
you.
it.
Sam, thank you. This is why you're here. Anyway, they said 45 where the box is a circle. Okay, again, that I think counts. It's still the same, but I know which one you're talking about. That's a great cover. That's the one with that's the post-Ennius lobby one. 48 has none. They say that. I think is that the one with Luffy and Oars screaming. 50. If I remember these off the top of my head, this is 51. Is box is a curved diamond. That one. Oh, that's the supernova one, I think. But again, if it's a different shape, it's still doing the same thing, though. Anyway, 53, he says, has none. That's an Impel Down one where he's literally busting out of the page, if I recall. 62. That one is a weird one. I thought there was some box there. I gotta look. 65. I'm going to go through these faster. 70, 72, 76, 77, 103, and 110. And then 112 through 114. Still, though, shows generally a trend of it happening more recently.
I think most of those examples may very well be the box is just covered by
people, and I think that is true. Yeah, which I'll look, but
like the box is definitely there in 43. You can't see it in 50 or no, in 53. You can't see it, but I think it's there in spirit. Like I really think it's just covered.
I mean, earlier on, it's very front and center, but I kind of like the fact that it does it's there, but it takes a back seat. And when it's different shapes, it's still like
it's definitely there in 52. It's definitely there in 52.
52, it definitely is there, yeah. But he didn't say it wasn't there. He said 51 and 53. 51, it is curved, but I think he's just playing with the formula. 53, it is there.
Just covered. It's just covered.
53, it's there, but he did something weird with it, and I think it's also covered.
There's just not a tiny inch that you can see it.
Yeah, which other one? 70 that's the newspaper one, I think. Yeah, that one I remember annoying me at the time for the same reason. Anyway, we can talk about this later.
I guess that one's missing it, but that one's also like one of the ugliest covers he's ever done. So.
It is not a good cover. I agree. Sam and I apparently have same taste in covers.
I'm still mad about it. Like what a nonsensical composition.
Yeah, 69 I don't like that much either. Which is weird because the two before that are some of my favorites. Those are great. The Caesar Clown one with them like walking through, and the one where everyone is swapped is an excellent one. Those are both excellent. Anyway, more. Brad Wonder says, I have a theory about Summer's fate and the climax of this arc. Emu seemed rather unthreatened by the situation. So I think, I don't know about that, but so I think they have a way to power up by taking away the powers of Summers and Killingham to strengthen Gunko's vessel. This means that the other knights will be vulnerable to be defeated more easily. Summers, who is currently in pieces, will die on the spot if he loses his immortality powers right now. Some people seem to misunderstand that Summers has aged normally since the God Valley flashback, so he can't be simply deleted, like with Emu and Saturn. Sorry. He would just remain very old without immortality now that he's been hit by a very powerful attack that would take a while to regenerate from. He could go through one of the more gruesome deaths in One Piece while literally in shambles. That's all reasonable. I'm still a little bit torn about Summer's aging, but yeah.
We talked about this. It probably is tied to the tattoo rank because there's 3 levels of the abyss, the shallows, the depths. I think the elders have the highest one that stop you from aging.
I'm also unclear if he like aged or if he just changed his hairstyle. But on the other hand, what's his face? Garland?
Yeah, all of them have aged but Gunko. So Gunko is definitely something more.
That's true. Than
the others.
Yeah. And Icefisher 10 has our last one saying that the archipelago lives again. Speaking of which, I've also been curious about the status of the One Piece podcast magazine, which I could leave up to Ken, but I'm not going to. They may call Loki the Niddhoggr, but in my heart, he's more than that. He's Ansel and Salagon the Black. I know Zach has no idea who that is since he said he doesn't read Tolkien on Quest for the Best, but someone else may get that. Also, props to Steven for using the term Obsidian, such a creative adjective. Sorry, there's something in my throat. But That's also why I love DS9. They have the Obsidian Order in that. And Anyway, thanks for the questions and for calling out my being a fake Tolkien fan, even though I've never claimed to be a Tolkien fan before. I know you weren't saying that. I just,
Not to extend the convo more, but can we cap off with one little thing?
Yes, please.
I looked it up. I went back and found Vegapunk's speech, and in the speech,
I'm glad you did.
He confirms the flame that I created was used to activate an ancient weapon, and that's what was used on Lucia. So it all but confirms that.
All but confirmed.
That thing is Uranus. We know what it looks like, or we don't know if it's a living thing or a machine or what it could be. But the mother flame powered it, and that means Emu has it.
It has all but been said. I think is probably the
not
way
by
to
name, but an ancient weapon was used on Lucia.
I would put a lot of money down that was yes.
Yep.
Sam,
Ken was right. I was wrong.
Wow, Sam, magnanimous again. Yes, that'll do it for Piece Together. Let's round off the show. This has been episode 908 of the One Piece podcast for March 2nd. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank Ed. I want to thank Ed also for coming on the show. Lucas, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can read most of my writing nowadays on Anime News Network. Do a lot of reviews over there. Currently reviewing Golden Kamui and the current season of Jujutsu Kaisen. And I also regularly contribute to their This Week in Anime column. But to stay up to date on everything that I'm doing, please follow me on Blue Sky at Lucas DeRuyter.
I'm still so impressed that your last name describes your profession. That's why they're not. No, Pogan? No, that doesn't make sense. No. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere online under KindKing01, whether that be Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. I am the same name everywhere. I'm very easy to find. Please stalk me if you so choose to. And also check out the One Piece art collab on Blue Sky. OP collab was a giant project we did 2 years ago now at this point, where we got hundreds of artists to draw hundreds of One Piece characters from Post Dressrosa through Egghead. And if you follow us on Blue Sky, we're doing a character a day. We've posted about 300 of the 800 characters so far. So it's like a daily One Piece character you can see every day, like a little calendar, which is nice.
I did accidentally skirt by the last Piece Together question asking us about our magazine, the OPP Atlas, which we are still working on. These things take a lot of time.
That's still in the works. We just want to find the best way to do it and get the right people in order to make it happen. But that it's still in our mind. We have not forgotten about it. It's not
content-wise. It's like mostly there, I think.
Yeah, part of why Zach calls me archivist is because I've personally collected all of the One Piece art, episode art, icons, like you name it. I pretty much have like the history of the One Piece podcast now on my desktop and in various Google Drives. So content wise, we got all the stuff together. We just need to put it all together and then put it out in a way that we're all happy with physically. So I can't promise you when it's going to happen, but it is still on our minds. I'm still keeping a weekly record of everything. So when it comes out, believe me, you will know about it.
If y'all don't mind me sneaking in one more plug, if you need an anime-focused magazine, if you need an anime-focused magazine to read in the meantime, go check out the Anime Herald magazine. I contributed to that as well. It is, it's really good. And also a print anime-focused magazine in the year of our Lord 2026.
Nice.
Incredible. Yeah, no, I contributed. I wrote about Delicious in Dungeon and how that is engaging with a lot of tabletop fantasy, video game fantasy tropes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say chefs for a second there. Possible. As a young and anime fan, magazines were very important to me. New Type, anime. I'm trying to remember all of them. There were a lot. Beckett, obviously. Yeah, which Greg wrote for, as we found out. But
I'm actually in a Beckett magazine. I wrote a letter as a kid, and they published my letter in one of the Beckett magazines.
okay,
Incredible.
well now I got to find that because I think I have.
I'll
those
try. I'll try to
somewhere.
find it. I have that somewhere. I'll post it somewhere.
I used to love those covers as a kid. Now as an adult, I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Anyway, Sam, where can people find you?
People can find me on Blue Sky at LC Sam, playing through some Resident Evil Requiem.
You could find me at ZachLogan.com, or you can find us at OnePiecePodcast.com. One Piece Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. You could find us. Also, please subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/One Piece Podcast. Subscribe, like, and review there. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts elsewhere. And follow us on all social media, including the ones that we don't frequent, but follow us, please. Including a Blue Sky, as I mentioned. Is there anything else happening? I'm trying to think that I could talk about. Probably not.
Our big March event.
Yes, let's talk about our. That was actually gonna be my second.
Oh, okay.
I
Just
really
making
did
sure.
forget. But our little surprise at the end. Ken, do you want to talk about what we're working on in our big March event?
Sure. So if you are listening to this podcast right now, this is already live. If you join our One Piece Podcast Discord, we are doing what Zach, who came up with the Arc Madness idea of crossing out the March Madness?
Steven, I think.
That was
I'm going to give
Steven?
Steven that. Yeah, I think it was Steven.
So we are doing our own version of March Madness. We're calling Arc Madness, where we are on the One Piece Podcast Discord. We currently have a Brackets of Consequence channel, or category with 2 channels, where we are going through every arc and we're doing them bracket style and putting them against each other, seeded, of course, for the month of March. And
Seeded,
every
of course, is not. It is not. That's not assumed. So,
well, it's
we've
not
had this
assumed, but
discussion
these have been seeded. Zach was gracious enough to seed these for us. And I
based
plugged
on
it all.
our arcs of consequence from 2019, I think was when we did.
Correct, minus the ones that
So
aren't
only
part of that.
only 2 since
Only
2019.
Yeah.
And one
So,
is still
anyway-
going.
Anyway, join the Discord. Look for the Brackets of Consequence category. There's 2 channels, one with the polls, one for discussion. And the idea is that these polls will last a week. We will talk about them at the end of each podcast until basically it ends, or it should be the month of March. So yeah, go vote, go discuss, go debate. We want to hear your opinions. I'm looking at the polls right now. We already have 7 votes in as of time of recording. So people have already found the channel before the podcast and are already voting.
I
So
haven't even
please.
found the channel. Is it? I
Yeah.
didn't even know it was public yet.
Oh yeah, it's public, it's going. So if you're listening to this, it's live. Please join our Discord, get your vote in, and let's have some fun. Some Arc Madness.
Yeah, the first round. Did you publish the whole bracket already?
Yeah,
Like-
everything's there. It's going.
Okay, so like you could see the whole bracket, which myself and Ken did help put together. I will say we are not entertaining discussions on what counts as an arc and what doesn't, because we have done that enough. I am
If you-
done. We're
We
doing
talked about that last episode.
Yes,
so.
we did. We did.
Go,
because
so last week, if you enjoyed our little lightning round at the end of last week,
Yes,
that's a
it's
small
similar.
taste. Now
Yes.
we are experimenting on bringing this to a bigger scale for all the listeners of the
it's
podcast.
March. We have to do Arc
It's
Madness.
March. We gotta do it.
This is probably
It's
going to
March.
take more than just March. I haven't done the math, but the amount
it
of
will
rounds.
take one,
it's just,
two,
no, it's a
3.
week each, you said, right? So this is going to be many
It'll
months.
take 5 weeks, so we'll finish in probably April.
Oh, you're doing all the preliminaries right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So right now there are 10 polls to vote on. You have 1 week to vote on all 10 polls.
Okay.
And so yeah, it'll be about a
So
month.
I'll go through them very quickly right now, just so you know, and you could get your anger and frustration out when you know it doesn't go whatever your way might be. Davy Back fights versus Egghead. Sabadi Archipelago versus Orangetown. Amazon Lily versus Whole Cake Island. Fishman Island versus Baratier. Elbath versus Logtown. Romance Dawn versus Zoe. There's one, I know people believe that both of those are not arcs. I don't care. We're not having this discussion anymore. Thrillerburg versus Little Garden. Drum Island versus Syrup Village. Twin Caves / Whiskey Peak versus Impel Down. And Punk Hazard versus Dressrosa. Again, these are seeded based on where we, and I think fans also ranked them that year. I can't recall exactly. I'm not trying to be dismissive. I mean, I am, but I'm not trying to be dismissive when it comes to like what counts as an arc. It's just that there's no perfect answer there. And at one point, you kind of just like got to have your own rubric and see. And I think I posted my rubric, and I'll post it again in that channel. But I think these are generally, I could feel okay with all of these, even if they're not perfect. I think it's pretty good.
It's fine for what we're
Even
doing.
Alex didn't like have an issue with it.
Yes, I ran it by Alex too because he was very, very wanted to make sure this was done right. So
yes, I know Alex has opinions about it, probably more than me. So
yes.
So as Steve says, let's see how Water 7 wins this. That'll do it. We'll see you next week for our recap of chapter 1176. And as always, fuck ice. My name is Zach. We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.